Okay, here's another look at some simple Ajax processing and how it might be useful for us. What I have here is a very simple form, and this is how we've created it. There's the form stuff down there. The important stuff is up here. And of course, all your JavaScript could be put in a separate file and probably should. Anyway, here's our link to the Ajax Google API. When the document is ready, we'll wait until the button is clicked. And when the button is clicked, we'll go ahead and submit via the post method to validator.php. I will grab all of my data from my test form, serialize it. When the validator.php is through, this is the JavaScript or jQuery that I want to actually execute. And in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and find my errors div, and I'm going to stick whatever it's returning into that errors div. So here's validator.php. I have a function validate email, and I use my try catch to see if we can our email variable that we passed in does actually validate to an email address. If it's false, we'll throw an exception, and this is where I catch the exception and return that message. Validate age, I'll pass in an age. If they don't have an age, I'll say no age input and return that string. If age is less than 0 or greater than 90, we'll return invalid age. Here's where I grab those values that the jQuery post submission is sending to me. I'll start off an errors array as an empty array, and I'll call the function up above, which will return a string. We'll send the email, but it will return a string and store it in the array if that was not valid. Same thing with age. So finally, I will just take an empty string, loop through all my errors, stick some p tags around it in an error class. You could then make a handle with this in your CSS and make it look a little prettier. But what happens then is we look over here as I put in my name, age, and we could validate these other ones. Of course, I'm not doing it. I click and everything's valid. But as soon as I put in something that's not valid, click me, that's not a valid email address. Now notice my page didn't have to refresh, and I could actually do it on the on focus event. Maybe we should look at that at some point. So we can then fix that. Let's see if I omit an age, it will do that. If I put in an age that's outside the range, it's invalid. If I have both missing and that, not a valid email address, no age input. So it's very useful, and I'm binding it to the button event, but we could very easy bind it to the on focus or on change event. When I leave a particular text box, we can validate it, and we could have it stick it over here on the right hand side or something. But that's an example of jQuery.